thank you all so much for being here today. It was so exciting. When I got the phone call, I was thrilled. We love to host and love to have people in our building and show off what we're doing here at Liberty. But today is not about that. Today is about the Lieutenant Governor being here and sharing some very important news from the Transportation Cabinet. So I just want to let you guys know you just had a quick visit of our Summer Ignite program. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the school board. I want to thank you all because, as I was telling the Lieutenant Governor, this is something we've never been able to do before. We've never had this opportunity. You all have removed, I'm going to cry talking about it. You've removed every barrier. You've removed every barrier. You have transportation. You've given us curriculum. You've given us the autonomy to do what our kids need. You have agreed to pay our teachers a rate that they couldn't pass up, but it not only that, but it showed them that when the rubber meets the road, they're important. And that just speaks volumes of where you all are and where your heads and your hearts are. And we cannot thank you enough for that. So I have to tell you, thank you for that. And then just to let you know that we have focused our entire Summer Ignite program on a book called The Important Book. And I've given the governor, Lieutenant Governor, a copy of it. But if you don't have it, it's an awesome book. And the kids every day, they write in their important journals about what they're learning. Every day we want them to write about what they're learning. It's more than just putting it in their heads. They've got to be able to write about it, talk about it, apply it. So we are doing that, and so we're just really, really proud of that. And also we've included SEL, so social and emotional learning. That's so important. Again, the district completely supports us on that. They provided us a curriculum a couple years ago. They enforced, they said you must do this every day, which we would have anyway, but it's an incredible program and it is needed and it has really been valuable. So just want to let you know that. And so thank you guys for that. And I want to just introduce you to the Lieutenant Governor, Jacqueline Coleman. She is a very important person. I've read about her. She is such an advocate for public education. That just really spoke to me. And not only that, but she's a working mom. She is super busy, but she also believes in empowering people, women especially, to take leadership roles. And I really appreciate that, and I want to thank her for that. So with that, I just want to thank you all for being here at Liberty, and you're welcome anytime. I know many of you come frequently, and so you're always welcome. Just talk to Ms. Defendahl first, wherever she might be. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to the Lieutenant Governor. Is that correct? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. If you need a dose of energy, come visit an elementary school. They're full of it, right? That was amazing. But I have to tell you that whether we're talking about the interim superintendent, principal, board members, educators, we have SROs over here. It really does take a village to build up our kids, to empower the next generation of Kentuckians, which is exactly what the Summer Ignite program is doing. And so I would actually argue that that's not why we're here today. I am here to present a check. However, these events are always the highlight of my day. I can't get over walking into an elementary school classroom with a bunch of adults and cameras and telling the kids to act normal. Act like you don't see these people. But it was a great experience. It was amazing to see how hard these kids are working in the summer, and that these teachers have committed even more of their time and energy to helping the kids that they see every day, because that is ultimately what's going to help us to build a brighter Kentucky. And so along with the social and emotional learning that we saw, and the literacy and the science practices, one thing that I would say is that we want our kids to have these opportunities. And the way that we create those opportunities is that we make sure that our schools are safe places. And that's both internal and external. And so today I'm really excited that I get to present a ceremonial check in the amount of $40,000 from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. And that is the combined cost of projects that will improve safety around the campuses of 2 of the schools here in Fayette County. This funding will improve traffic and pedestrian safety on roadways by 2 school campuses. Here at Liberty Elementary School, as well as at the Lexington Universal Academy. Liberty Elementary and Lexington Universal Academy are located on two of the busiest roads in Lexington, Liberty Road and Nicholasville Road. I probably don't have to tell you all that. At both sites, overhead school flashers will be installed to provide additional warning to vehicles that are approaching school entrances. When the lights are flashing, the speed limit will then be 45 miles per hour. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet engineers will also review school zone devices already in use at Liberty Elementary right here to determine whether they should be enhanced. What better place to increase traffic safety than in the vicinity of a school where we send our most valuable resources, which are our children. This ceremonial check represents more than new equipment. It represents a high priority that Governor Beshear and all of us on Team Kentucky have, making our streets and roads safer and making sure that we are always an education first administration. So today we take one step forward into making our communities a little bit safer place for our children. And so I want to go ahead and call, you want to come on up and I'll present you with this check. It's the fun kind, it's like the big kind. So. Here we go. $40,000 right here from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
I didn't get to say, but I did want to thank you. And please tell the governor, I'm so proud of how our governor handled everything during COVID. I'm so proud to be a Kentuckian.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. And if you want to answer questions about anything about the school, and I'm happy to take questions if you have any. And Helma's coming first? Okay,
Awesome.
Let me step over them. Sorry, I didn't know. No problem.
Good morning. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Coleman. We appreciate you. I heard someone ask you, how do you do it? You know, you've got a 16-month-old? Oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you so very, very much. For those of you who may not be familiar, Liberty Elementary is Fayette County's largest elementary school with over 700 students. And as the Lieutenant Governor mentioned, it's located on one of the busiest roads in Lexington. And so anytime we can continue to add safety and other enhancements that make it safe for not only the children, but for our families as well, because we have a number of students who walk to school because of the neighborhood that we find ourselves in. So there are students that can actually walk. There are students whose parents drive them, and then we have students who also ride those big yellow buses. So we really appreciate, like I said, any enhancement that can be made. And we owe a great deal of gratitude, as Lisa said, to the governor and the lieutenant governor and really Team Kentucky, because they have continued to put educators first. We were first in line or close to first in line to get the vaccine, which meant we were able to get our students back in school. For those students whose parents wanted them back in person, we were able to do that in February. So we thank you again for allowing us to have that. As our late and beloved superintendent, Manny Kalk, used to say, victory is in the classroom. Victory is in the classroom. And so this morning, you were able to see some of that victory being realized, whether it was students learning about magnets and what they can do, and they were trying everything, whether it was doing other experiments, whether it's art, whether it's learning language. We have an amazing partnership with entities out in the community, from the Y to other partners that have helped us to really have a summer program that's unlike any, I think Lisa mentioned that, unlike any that we've ever had. And that is certainly, we certainly have to give credit to Melissa Flannery and Elena Bailey, who are the coordinators here for Summer Ignite, for Mindy Mills, who took this ball and just lit it like there was no tomorrow. So we thank you, Mindy, we thank you, Melissa and Elena, we thank you, Lisa, and we must thank, as Lisa said, our board members, two of whom are with us today. Both are educators, And so what you're seeing is the result of individuals who focus a lot on education because they understand both personally and professionally how important it is. So we have our board chair, Tyler Murphy, who is a high school teacher, and we have our vice chair, Amy Green, who was also a high school teacher. So we thank you very, very much. And just a lot of other Fayette County folks that are here, because it really does take a team. It really does take a village, a team, whatever. We are grateful to each and every one of you and to the community, because we have a lot of community support here. And so hopefully the community will see that we are using our ESSER dollars in a way that really is making an impact that goes beyond just a summer, that will be impactful for the long term. So again, we thank you. We have more books for you since you're an educator. When the governor was here at Lafayette on the same day that the high school students were practicing for graduation, it was the last day of school, and we had a press conference at our largest high school in Lexington. I shared with him that 3 elementary schools had their 5th grade students to come together to put their thoughts about what the pandemic had meant to them. And if you want to read something so that you truly understand the impact that students as young as 5th grade really understood what we were going through and what it meant to them. So we have a copy for you.
That is amazing.
And a copy for, if you will be so kind as to deliver this to the governor.
I will.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you again.
That's amazing. I can't wait to read this.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Oh, thank you for coming, everyone. Any questions for the Lieutenant Governor?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Just 2, if I may.
Okay.
The $40,000 earmarked from the transportation capital budget, or some sort of construction?
Well, this is part of the school safety that is coming out of the federal dollars, and so it went through the transportation cabinet. Yeah.
And then the other one, we've had a chance to ask you, since education is your expertise, thoughts on critical race theory being taught in schools?
What I would say to that is I refuse to give into a distraction that was meant to divide and solve a problem that doesn't exist. So instead of talking about theories that aren't taught in school, what I would hope that our elected officials would focus on is hunger and homelessness and poverty and addiction, the things that our kids deal with every day. That is real. That is tangible. It's in every classroom, in every school building across Kentucky. Those are the issues that we should be working together to tackle, not creating issues where they don't exist. Yeah.
Can you talk about which of the projects will be most supported with this funding?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
With this money that is spent, what do you find will be the most important project?
Well, anything that addresses the issue of school safety is paramount, because we just talked about how many kids couldn't get to school if it weren't for school buses. Transportation is always an issue. You have some kids that walk, and so anytime that there's a crosswalk, anytime there is a way that we can create some traffic lights or signs or anything that will slow traffic down so that our kids can get here safely, to me those are some of the most important projects that we can fund in Kentucky.
And the school safety is a huge umbrella. It covers a lot of different things, like having the police officers in the building. It has to do with the things that we're doing, like they're putting a new window in so that we can, and we call it the fishbowl over there, a window so that our registrar can, without letting someone in our building that has access to our children, can open the window and ask for them what they need and what they're here for, that kind of thing. So they're always giving us more. We have a new sign-in program that does a background check, see if there's anything outstanding there. So they are just always giving us more and more and more new alarms on the doors. And I did not mention, but I would like to give thanks to my chief, Faith Thompson, who supports me. And when if I have a question, if I have a need and I will tell you, their number one thing was safety. Every single day it was about safety back in this building. And so the whole thing of safety is a huge umbrella and it encompasses a lot, but the district has put a huge emphasis on it, and I'm so grateful because it shows. The important thing is these kids and their safety and our families.
Absolutely.
12 months ago at this time, we didn't do this, obviously.
No.
Are you and the governor pleased with where we are right now, about 2/3 vaccinated? We could always do more and do better, but are you both pleased with where we're at?
So the thing about the governor and myself is we're pretty competitive people. And so we always want to do better, and we always want to push for better. And so I would say that a year ago, if you had told me that we would be doing this right now, I wouldn't have believed you. And so that progress is definitely evident, and it is attributed to Team Kentucky and the way that the governor has led Kentucky through these tough times. But I do believe we can always do better. I do believe that we're still trying to reach, a part of the population that is hesitant about the vaccine. We're waiting on the medical community to roll out the vaccine for kids younger than 12. And as all of those things happen, we'll of course be a little bit more safe. But certainly I'm just eminently proud of the governor and his leadership. But if he was here today, he would find ways that we could do better. And so we always push for better. Yeah.
What do you think about going into those classrooms and seeing those kids in the summertime still learning?
Anytime I get to go into a classroom, it's the highlight of my day. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in a school. I really do love watching these kids learn and grow, and the fact that they are essentially putting in overtime during the summer, that our teachers are showing up and working obviously just as hard, whether it's July, or January, is a testament to this profession. And one of the things I want to say is, these kids are putting forth the effort. They're here. They're working hard to be better, and that's where the future of our economy is. We just saw it in our classrooms, and so it's impossible to build a better Kentucky or a brighter future without supporting these kids. And you cannot support these kids if you don't also support the adults that serve them every day. And that is why the education community is so critical to our communities, to our Commonwealth, and to the future of Kentucky's economy.
We saw a small uptick, I guess, on the holiday weekend as far as positivity rate, but with the CDC saying the Delta variant now the dominant strain. Do either of those things, those numbers, trigger any conversations or changes as far as what you're talking about in the administration?
Well, so we still monitor vaccination rates and positivity rates daily, and there are constantly meetings and calls. And so, for us, we're still monitoring and watching what's going on out in the state. What I will tell you is, on holiday weekends, holiday events, that's typically where we saw an uptick the entire pandemic. And so I'm not really surprised that happened. But what I will say is our positivity rate is still pretty low given the number of vaccinations that we've had. What I think is really impressive is that over a holiday weekend, where most people didn't, go to an office on Monday, most places weren't open on Monday, we still vaccinated over 12,000 people in Kentucky. So there's still people out there who are getting vaccinated, that are doing the things that we need them to do to keep us safe. And so we just have to continue to push that. And now that you can win $1 million if you're vaccinated, you could go to shotatamillion.ky.gov, and you'll never have better odds to win $1 million. And you've got 2 more chances. Not to mention we have kids 12 to 17 that can win. There are 10 more kids that will win a full ride scholarship. Books, tuition, room and board, everything is covered. And so hopefully that's an incentive for our families too. Governor Beshear will be very proud of me for fitting in that shot at $1 million. All right, thank you guys so much.